You are so incredibly self-aware, and yet you still feel stuck. This sentence by my mentor, Flynn Skidmore, absolutely blew up the internet last year, and that is because so many of you resonate with that. I think specifically when we start learning a new tool, a new spiritual world, technique, we start gaining awareness. We now all have this kind of trauma speech. We all understand what patterns we have, what is standing in our way to become the person we want to be. We have so much access to so much information, yet we don't know how to tangibly put it into practice. And this is where I see the difference between the clients of mine that have success and the clients of mine that continue to keep feeling stuck. The difference is that it doesn't matter how much you know in your mind, all of the details that you have yourself trained, informed, and read about. But it is actually how brave and courageously you're able to implement the information and live your life from this new energetic truth. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you the 90-day playbook, step by step, on how to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. Let's dig deep. Human design is such a fascinating knowledge because we deeply resonate with it, and yet it is a language that we're just starting to understand. Because we sense, we feel good vibes, bad vibes, but we haven't had the vocabulary or the deeper knowledge to really see, read, and understand how that process works. Now that you're learning how the energy field and your specific aura is designed to operate, you are starting to really see clearly why you have resistance in your life and how you can get it back into flow. The beauty about human design for me is that it is applicable, is that it's tangible, it's that it's got a straight A strategy, it's got a plan. After each video, you can go back to your life and start implementing and start changing. But the human nature is something that we can't forget. And I have so much love and so much empathy for all of our human nature. It is so much easier for us to stay in our mind, to analyze, to learn more, that we are constantly accumulating more information, more resources, a new Instagram account to follow, to know more when we are still not seeing result. The reason that you've maybe watched the YouTube videos and you followed the Instagram accounts and you're reading about human design on some dark web on the internet and you're not seeing change and impact, it's because knowledge won't have the biggest impact in your life. Living and embodying your energetic authenticity will. But it is so much easier to continue to learn and to intellectualize than actually move into our body where it can feel scary, where we're moving out of our comfort zone, where we need to, take these steps into uncertainty to see the world open up to a new possibility. That's scary. And I really want to acknowledge that. Oftentimes we do not understand how deep our energetic trauma runs, but it is from the day we are born that we are being fed, that we are being taught through pain and rejection that it is not safe to be a whole authentic self. So then stepping into this reality is really fucking scary, ladies and gentlemen. And so today in this video, I'm gonna give you a 3-phase playbook where we're going to discuss different steps in each phase to get you to stop living in your mind and wanting more resources and information and actually getting you out into the real world to show your beautiful, unique, sparkling self. Let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is Maika Gabriela and I'm a human design leader, a deconditioning expert, and the founder of the Transformational Human Design Certification. If you want to learn more about your energetic authenticity in human design in a very tangible and clear way, then take a moment now to subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me to see this community grow, and it motivates me to continue to show up every week with new, beautiful, hopefully valuable information to share with you so that you can up-level, upgrade, and align with the right people, opportunities, and chances in your life. Thank you. Phase 1 is going to be starting with your basics. There is so much detail in the human design information that you all want to get lost in the little bits of things that really don't matter. If you're frustrated in your life, if you're not making the money you desire, if you haven't found your soulmate, to me, that is a clear indicator you have not yet grasped the basics, my beautiful soul. I'm sorry to break it to you, but I like to give it to you straight because I don't want to waste your time, okay? So that means that the first thing that you got to assess are the 3 most important pillars of your human design. It is going to be understanding your energy type and your strategy. It is going to be deep diving into your authority in your decision-making habits and really understanding the openness and the definition of your energy centers. So when we're looking at the energy type, which is going to be the first and most important thing that you have to assess, it's really getting to know your energetic authenticity. Your strategy is the way that you move through the world. It's the way that you make shit happen. Even if you, my beautiful projector, have the feeling I have to wait for the invitation, I can't make shit happen. There is a video on each energy type on this channel that I recommend that you look into. Re-listen to it if you have already, because it will bring you back on track if you have got lost because summertime and life happens, okay? First thing we're going to do is really focus on understanding our energy type and our strategy. These things for the next 90 days become your number 1 priority. I do not care what you think you need to do. I want you to take a deep breath and be like, I trust my strategy for the next 90 days, and you will see how your world will change. Next step of phase 1 is really going to be doubling down on your authority. The world is going to start crumbling in 2027 when there's the new paradigm and there's a shift in consciousness, and there will be no outer authorities that will tell us what's right or wrong. It will be you with your conscious and your decision-making authority, okay? Check what your authority is. We have a free human design chart on my website. You can put your information there if you don't know it, and it will say very clearly, authority. This is the way you make decisions. And no, it is not in your mind, even though you think you can intellectualize your way into safety. Unfortunately, that's not what destiny has in store for us, okay? We are meant to trust our innate sense that knows what is good and what is not good. And the moment that you start basing every single decision on your authority, you will be starting to take a step into or onto the path of your higher purpose. Step 3 of phase 1 is going to be understanding the openness and the definition of your energy centers. Energy centers are key to your process, are key to deeply understanding what your life lessons are and why you're having the issues that you're having, okay? So I want to reiterate, open energy centers that do not have any color, that we call undefined, those are the places in this lifetime you have come to find yourself in, distress. It will come with obstacles. It will come with hurdles to overcome. You will stress about the themes of your open energy center. These are your karmic lessons in this lifetime you have to overcome to upgrade your soul to the next level. So if you are identifying the open energy centers, maybe it is the root center, so you have to learn how to deal with pressure. Maybe it is an open spleen, meaning you have to learn how to feel safe and find the balance between adventure and health. Like, there are so many nuances and details in each energy center. So deeply understanding what your open energy centers are, what the lessons are, and how to really work on every single energy center specific so that you understand what it is that you need to really integrate in your life to remove this constant pattern that is keeping you small, and doubling down on your defined, colored in energy centers, because they are who you are unmistakably. The defined energy centers are what you are built of. There could be a storm and your defined centers would stand there with all of their force. Your defined centers are what define you. These are things about yourself that you have certainty, that you know for sure, that you can access to whenever. These are also your gifts that are dominant, that inspire others, that influence others. And the one thing that I always mention that is important for you specifically, if you do not feel connected to what your defined energy center represents, the only time I've seen this happening in the thousands of readings that I've done has been very rare times when there's been very deep childhood trauma involved. So if you have some kind of disconnection from feeling identified with what your defined energy centers represent, then I really urge you to go and look for professional psychological counseling. Step 2 of phase 1 is going to really be understanding where you are leaking your energy. Where are you overriding your system? Where are you saying yes to obligations? Where are you too afraid to just put up a boundary and set a limit and express your needs because you fear that your authentic self is not enough, is not lovable, or you are afraid that when you move into your energetic authenticity, you are not lovable, you do not belong, and you will get punished for showing up in your full authentic self. It is important that during this step, you start journaling. You start asking yourself every single day, what did I override? What is the fear that came up? And how can I start using conscious communication and delegation to be able to show the full authentic side of myself without fearing that nobody will love me? And step 3 is really important because it is about implementation. So for the next 30 days, I want you to really make following your strategy and listening to your authority the number 1 priority. I really want you to take a breath before every decision and allow your authority to guide you to make the most aligned decision. I want you to sense that awkwardness, because what we want to do is that we want to build the trust muscle with the universe. You need to see to believe. You need to experience that it's safe for you to actually implement the strategies. And so I get so many questions around, Micah, how do I create more courage? How do I become braver? The only way out to the other side is through, my ladies and gentlemen. Like, there is no way of building courage and being brave if you can't fall flat on your ass and get yourself back up and be like, oh, I did that. I put myself up from my ears and I got back on my feet because I know I can. And so these first 30 days are going to be maybe the scariest, because you got to step out of the unknown. You got to start implementing instead of rationalizing. You got to live. You got to take action. And action, ladies and gentlemen, is the universal law of success, but it is also scary. The beautiful thing is that most of the things that we desire are always on the other side of resistance, are always on the other side of what we're scared of. And if we're really, really smart, we start only doing the things we're scared of, and we will see an incredible reward. Like, it is wild what happens when you start doing the things that are scary to you. We always think being scared is a sign to like step away, which often it is, right? If there's real danger, like if there's a lion in the bushes, I'm not going to walk towards the lion. But in real life scenarios, oftentimes something scary is actually the portal for something new, for something opening up, for something bigger. And so when we are going through this process of building a trust muscle with the universe, it might feel a bit uncomfortable. We might feel a bit unsafe, so we really need to learn to regulate and start trusting our innate capacity to deal with adversity, our innate capacity to overcome obstacles, hurdles, rejection, comments from other people. When we start coming into our own, a lot of people might be surprised by these new boundaries that we have. There are new ways of showing up that we have, or maybe we say no to something we've been saying yes to for the last 15 years, and people are like, oh, okay, I didn't expect that. And this is also a great way to like sieve out the people who love you truly and want to support you to become the best version of yourself, and people who actually don't really like people who change, or don't really want to support the highest good, or don't really want to meet this new whole authentic self that you're trying to experiment with. And that's okay. For me personally, I always know I'm of leveling when I either lose friends that have been there forever, and it's not even because of a fight. It's really just this energetic dynamic that they leave out of my field, and I get new amazing friends that feel more aligned in this new frequency I'm cultivating. So I've come to learn to be very kind of nonchalant about it. I also believe that maybe at a new time in 3-5 years, they will come back into my life. I hold no grudges. But we really wary about this phase. These first 30 days are for you to start implementing your trust muscle with the universe, and you gotta take those uncomfortable steps so that the universe can prove you, hey babe, I see you're doing your thing. You're doing your thing fantastic. I'm going to continue to support you with joy, energy, happiness, abundance, excitement, adventure, new possibilities to prove to you that what you're doing is right and that you are on the path of your purpose. The next 3 steps are going to support the actual embodiment and practical implementation of your human design into your daily life. So the first thing that you want to do is that you want to really tailor your everyday to your energy type. So if you're a manifestor in your human design, I want you to really space out your work in your energetic peak, okay? Meaning that you will have 3 days, 4 days, 2 days of a high intensity work, and then you will plan and space out some time for you to rest, okay? I need you to really focus on organizing your day around the natural ebb and flow of your energy. If you're a projector, give yourself space between your tasks. If you're doing some work, then give yourself some time to really open up, relax, calm down, calm your nervous system, get back to your sacral center, really empty out that energy that you've been holding on to so it doesn't compile, and then at the end of the day, you don't know how to stop. So work a little bit, give yourself time to decompress, then really allow yourself some time to bathe in recognition. This can be talking to a friend, or this can be reading reviews about your work, or just talking to somebody you really love that genuinely cares about you. For you as a projector, during the day, it is important that you find like a 3-4 hour window where you dedicate yourself to your stuff. So the most magnetic thing a projector can do is actually learn and study. When you focus on nourishing your soul and your interest, your aura actually expands. When your aura expands, it catches people's attention, and that's when they come to you and they're like, oh, what are you doing differently? And you're like, oh, I do this human design thing, right? So this is how you get clients. You get clients by magnetizing your aura, and you magnetize your aura by actually allowing yourself to have like 2, 3, 4 hours a day where you dedicate them to learning something new, to doing something creative, to really bringing that, outside focus, projecting aura onto yourself and nourishing your soul with things that might not make sense to others, but really make sense for yourself. Dear generator, I want you to try something that is called time blocking. This seems to work incredible for generators. But the main reason I'm saying that is because you really need to optimize the satisfaction in everything that you're doing. I want you to really, program your day in a way where you have blocks of really satisfying work. It is continuous, it is growing, it is energized, and it's full of joy and excitement. You're the kind of person that thrives on, when you have like a necklace that is in like a million little dots and pieces and like knots, and you're like continuously like pulling on those knots, and like this is your favorite thing as a generator. Like, I don't know how to apply it to something more tangible, but this is what I see. And so I want you to organize your day in really satisfying, continuous blocks of work where you have steady energy and you go at it. And if you need to take a break, and if you want to take a nap, or if you want to take a pause, when it's your time to do that, because you have a defined cycle, so you can trust, okay, you know what? I've done my first morning block of consistent energy. Now I want to rest a little bit, and that's going to be ideal for you. For you, my manifesting generator, we want to bring play into your everyday. I don't want you to get drained by doing this one task, this full day, and really give yourself the optionality. Ooh, what am I excited about doing today? Do I want to build this thing? Do I want to do this task? And really have less linear time blocks. I want your everyday life to feel full of excitement, adventure, and that freedom to move, to change, to switch, where you spend a couple of hours writing something, then a couple of hours on your online business, then a couple of hours watching a documentary. Like, really allow yourself to be free, to be adventurous, in not getting stuck into doing this one task to full completion. Like, you are allowed to let go and to change and to switch and to come back the next day, right? It's like an artist studio that has one painting here, one sculpture there, reading a book about, some kind of technique. And so within the same space, you're able to move and to wander and to allow your soul to really guide you, allow your God and excitement to move through this very playful, non-linear kind of like work guidance that you feel drawn towards. And for you, my beautiful reflector, I want you to really get to know the spaces that you enjoy being in. I want you to move through different spaces. I want you to go for a walk to get inspired, to cleanse your energy centers out, and really have 2-3 hours where you're actively just shifting place and shifting environment and not having work that is too linear, too structured, or too heavy. Have a lot of breaks. Move out of the space to have an actual physical break of the space. When you have new energy, you can come back to the space, but really do things spaced out, which I think is a kind of funny expression for a reflector. But really try to find that, rhythm in your day where you're moved by some internal cues that allow you to focus on your work, move out of the space, move into a new space, come back refreshed, so that you can really gather and sample all of the energy that is consistently flowing around you. So the 3 tips that I would give you to structure your day is that in the morning, dedicate yourself to something that anchors you in your authenticity. Maybe this is a meditation, maybe this is some breath work, some movement, some yoga, really something to ground that energy. Midday, I want you to do something that lights you up. This might be studying for a projector. This might be, doing whatever hobby you're fascinated by right now as a manifesting generator or a generator. And at night, I really want you to have some conscious ritual around decompressing. I want you to learn to really focus and give attention to all of the energy that is built up in your energy centers. And I want you to learn to decompress and empty out the openness in your energy centers so that you can ground yourself, calm yourself, and really release anything that isn't yours and call back in all of that energy that you might have lost during the day or the weeks prior. And last but definitely not least is step 3 of phase 2, which is eat, move, and sleep according to your human design. And so this is such a beautiful little kind of like sprinkle of detail that I am so grateful Human Design has given me resources to understand this deeper. We actually just had this incredible ebook that really people loved, and that's why I'm mentioning it here. If you haven't bought it, the Radiant Reset is like a 5-day detox for your energy type, and it comes with so many beautiful recipes and access to the Soft Power membership. And we've had, I think, like 200 people downloading one, and the feedback has been amazing. So eating for your energy type is so special, but then you also have eating for your digestion type, and there's 12 different digestion types. And I was recently on a call with a client who told me that he had seen somebody share their experience with eating for their energy type, and that by eating for their digestion, they were able to take off their glasses and their eyesight healed, which I think is wild and I had never heard of before. But that's how deep nutrition runs, because it's not about micronutrients and what you eat in terms of like calories in, calories out, but it's actually the energetic exchange that happens and the way that we fuel our body from an energetic perspective that is connected to human design and nutrition. The way that we move is so interesting because it really does change when we move the way our energetic body is designed to move. We have something called the active body. We have something called the passive body. There's this whole new course that I've created for movement and food and digestion inside the Align Plus course because people just need this information so bad and have been asking me for it. And so I really dig deep. We've actually launching this week. So by the time this video is out, it will already be launched. Inside the Self-Power membership, we have actually collaborated with my personal trainer, Fit by Jack, who is incredible. And she's created a gym program, like a sports program. And she has created a movement program for each energy type specific. So the moment that you start eating for your design, so many things shift and change within your body because you've released that stagnant energy that's been, like kind of ruminating, that digestive issues, water, weight gain, indigestion. The moment you start moving for your body, you actually start enjoying movement, which is crazy because we're never taught to move the way that fits us. We're taught if you want this result, this is how you have to move. But I don't know about you. I followed so many diet plans and I've tried so many movement workouts to get somebody else's dream body, but that's never how my body looked. So we all have our own individual way of getting fit, of eating specific for what our unique body needs. And sleep is the same. Every energy type has a specific way to wind down. This, for example, you'll find within the Authenticity Challenge, also inside the Self-Power membership. So there's plenty of resources for you to get access to this information, but understanding that the way that you eat, the way that you move, and the way you sleep are such high impact on being able to have a healthy, energetic body so that you can remove stagnation, remove blockages, and align with the right people, opportunities, abundance, chances, and soulmate in your life for you to experience what your soul desires. And step 3 of this phase is to start creating rituals that allow you to actually really ground and embody this new higher self that you're cultivating. Because we cannot become somebody else if we continue to act and behave the way that we've always acted and behaved. And so when we anchor these rituals that tie us to the person we want to become, we actually start being that person bit by bit every day, embodying that higher self a little bit more. So by day 60, I want you to create a coming home playlist. This is music, this is sound that really embodies the frequency that you want to feel, that you want to project, that joy, that excitement, that calm. Maybe it's peace, maybe it is, something very grounding. Create a playlist that embodies the energy and the feeling that you want to create and how you want to impact others. Then I want you to really start practicing saying no and creating clear boundaries. And boundaries is something that I think is really important to be very honorable around. A lot of people use boundaries now in a way to create a toxic power dynamic. They use the no as a way to leverage and to hurt other people. And so I think it's really important to understand that boundaries are really a way that you show other people how you need to be loved. And so oftentimes it's just really about honoring your desires and moving out of that people-pleasing tendency and really letting go of control, actually, not executing more control, which is what I see people doing. And I know it's very complex and very nuanced, but once you understand how to implement boundaries that are actually healthy, that are kind for both, because what happens is when we don't have boundaries in place, we can become passive aggressive. I'm giving so much, but I don't know how to say no. So I'm giving so much, but I'm going to make you feel guilty about how much I'm giving you. That is not a positive exchange of energy. So when I say, you know what, actually, I'm just maxed out to the full and I can't do it. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can do it tomorrow. That's a boundary that is setting, that is kind, that has to do with understanding your own patterns and not wanting to hurt other people either. And also being very, understanding and empathetic to your needs. And last but not least, and this is one of the things that I do a lot, but you can start by once a week. This is my favorite thing ever. I always say, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And so I truly enjoy dressing up so much. Even if I feel uncomfortable, even if I feel overdressed, I know that this sets me in a mode where I'm connected to the woman that I want to be. And so if you just have once a week, like your higher future self, and really understand that everything you put in your body, everything you eat, everything you say, everything you wear is a reflection of your own worth, you start to really move and grow energetically with this expansion of your magnetism and your radiance, because you are really cultivating this divine relationship to yourself, to the value of who you are, towards your own gift and your permission to be here, and your permission and validation to be seen and heard, and really doubling down on the beauty that it is to be you, to have the unique gifts that only you embody, and to have this voice that you're here to share with your world in a way that will impact and contribute to the expansion of our consciousness. You are here for a reason, and your uniqueness, your brilliance, your talent, they are all here to be seen, to be worshipped, to be memorized, and you're here to create impact. So don't forget, we just have this one life. You better dress the part. I actually have a surprise for you. I am gifting you this discount for the next 7 days so that you can get your Align Plus course that we personalize, hand put together for your unique design to take your human design understanding even deeper. If you're interested, not only in a playbook, but a workbook, video courses, and the only information that you will ever need to understand your human design, not only from the mind, but actually learn to embody it, this is your chance to grab it at a fantastic discount. So trust your authority, and I'll see you inside. And now, my beautiful souls, we are in phase 3. And this is where we're going to implement human design for our visibility, for our relationships, and to support us in our leadership. Let's dig deep. The first step is addressing how to start becoming authentic and having conscious communication to really create new, more powerful, more connected, more authentic, and supporting relationships. The first thing that I want you to do is to really speak from your authenticity. And authenticity is one of those words that gets thrown out a lot and that we're all meant to kind of understand. But the first time I heard it, I'm like, what do you mean just be authentic? I'm like, I'm just me. Why is it working? But that's because I wasn't authentic. I wasn't energetically authentic. And so what authenticity actually means is this. Being authentic, showing up authentically means that we share our own personal experience of our consciousness. So consciousness expressed. It's where we come from unapologetically and where we want to go to unapologetically. It is our values, our beliefs, what we've been through, how we see things, without apologizing, just owning 100% of that. The flaws, the beauty, the failure, the success, it doesn't matter. It is owning everything about who you are and sharing that without apologizing or fear being shamed for who you are. You have come into this world the way that you have come into this world. You have done things with the utmost integrity that you have been able to in the situation that you've been able to. If you've done things in the past that you're not proud of, I definitely have, that's okay. It was circumstantial. It does not make me a bad person. It just makes me somebody that needed to learn a lesson, which I did, and now I'm here. So that is what it means to be authentic. The next thing you want to do is to really use your defined energy centers to anchor that authenticity, to really be very grounded in the truth about you. If you have a defined throat, you know that you do not need to yell or shout to get people's attention. If you have a defined personality center, you know and understand that other people might copy your style and you'll inspire others to do a business that's similar to yours. It doesn't matter. You walk through life with that certainty and that knowing and that trust and the full defined aspect of your stuff. And the last thing that I want you to do is to really teach people how to honor your energetics. And it's not by giving them a lecture. It's really just by being fully okay about who you are, how you operate, what you need, and what you can do. right? Like I cannot initiate because I am a projector. And in my friends group, I might organize a dinner, but honestly, if there's 2 generators in the chat, I'm not gonna do it. Not because I don't want to, but because I know it doesn't make any sense. I'll try to suggest something and they'll find something better. And so really knowing your place is a way that you teach other people. It is not even so much about doing more. It is actually about just doing your thing. When you stop informing as a projector because you know you have to wait for the invitation, you just lean back. But that makes everybody else step up. And that is a healthy dynamic between you and the people in your life, in your work, wherever it is. And so the moment that we stop over trespassing our own energetic boundaries and authenticity, we actually find much more grounding energy, respect, and kind of like admiration from others because they see us as this full, authentic, whole being that is not constantly leaking energy and trying to get approval and, trying to mold themselves to the needs and expectations of others. But when we move with this deep energetic integrity, people will notice and people will come to you for advice and people will want to know what are you doing differently, because there is something that changes when you stop trying to get recognition from the outside and have 100% trust and that you are worthy being your full authentic self and moving in full trust with the universe, your strategy, and your aligned energetics. Step 2 of phase 3, these last 60 to 90 days, is really starting to implement your strategy and your energetic authenticity in business and in life. Look at how you're posting your content. Look at how you're working on your daily stuff every day in your job or in your business. Really take an assessment around how authentic you're showing up. Are you creating really in unison with your response mechanism or your creative urges or your invitation? Or are you actually continuously performing? Are you continuously trying to get validation from the outside? Or are you truly honoring your energetic authenticity and who you've come to be in work, with obstacles, with resistance, and continuously show up for who you want to be, right? And take a moment to assess if the small things that you're doing, the way that you're calling people, messaging people, emailing people, all of these little details really go into the details of your everyday activity and look at them and be like, okay, is this aligned with my strategy? Is this aligned with my energetic type? Is this honoring my aura? Or am I continuously still outsourcing who I think I need to be in order to be loved? And the last step to close these 90 days to become absolutely unrecognizable is that you implement a routine, an altar, and dedicate yourself each day to really ask and connect with your authentic, whole, full self. Am I truly honoring my strategy, my authority, my energy centers? Am I really embodying who I want to be, or am I still intellectualizing the things? And really start connecting to the future of the life you want to create. You can write out a journal around what your ideal day looks like, what your ideal business looks like, what your dream life looks like. You can choose a daily embodiment cue. Maybe this is a scent. Maybe this is a candle, a ritual that is just that little thing that reminds you, I'm going to trust myself. I've done now all of this work. I know that I can and I am allowed to be my full, whole, authentic self. When your nervous system starts to feel at ease in this new, authentic version of yourself, it will become easy because you are training your subconscious to operate from a new way. We need to create new neural pattern for our reality to change. And the moment that we start actively embodying, moving, acting, talking in alignment with our energy field, we become so incredibly radiant and magnetic that everybody will notice. It is only when how we act and how we talk is not accordance with what people sense that people are like, oh, something's wrong with her. She's a bit murky, okay? So after these 90 days, come back to this video and let me know how you're feeling, how you're moving, and what has changed in your life. If you've enjoyed this video, then please let me know in the comments below, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share with your community or anybody else you think could benefit from this information. Remember, I don't care what anybody says, and I love you. I'll see you next week with more human design content.